Howdy do, everybody. Creepy Kentuckian here. I'm back. It is the 11th horror for Halloween today on DEADPIT on YouTube, and I'm going to talk about it in just a second. But I got an update, another DVD update for you guys. Big Lots, check your local Big Lots. They freshly stocked this shit. We went in there yesterday and picked up horror goodness. Monster High from 1989. It's supposed to be a really horrible, I don't know if it's like a mutant movie or I don't know what I've never seen it, but Monster High. It's got like a really hilarious cover to it. Picked that up $3. Whisper, which looks to me like an Omen rip off, and I'm a sucker for the Killer Kid movies. Gotta get it. And the coolest one I snatched up, just because Monster Go Home is fucking awesome, is The Munsters, the 2-movie Fright Fest. 2 movies for $3. And this was a really expensive set when it came out. I'm thinking it was at least $25. Had to get that. And the last one isn't horror, but Uncle Bill laughed when I said this was an all-time classic, but I'm standing by that. You have Fred Savage, Judge Reinhold in Vice Versa. That's right, folks. This could possibly be another creepy, crappy movie review at some point. So I mean, who wouldn't get this for $3? $3 for Vice Versa. Give me a break. That's a steal for this movie. This movie's great. And the funny story about this, I don't know who plays the love interest for Judge Reinhold, but I saw her in some commercial recently or something like that. That lady hasn't aged. Like, she's playing the exact same age character in the commercial. She's still hot. I have no idea who. I don't know who the actress's name is, but I saw her recently. Couldn't believe how good she looked. So let's get to the review, though. I just wanted to do that, tell you guys $3 the DVDs, especially the Munsters, man. I mean, Uncle Bill actually didn't buy this for $3, and I'm like, what the fuck? You got Red Dragon. Who gives a shit? Get the fucking Munsters, man. Anything Munster related, $3, or even if they had the season sets for $6. Wow, that shit. Fuck Edward Norton. Anyway, though, the movie, and there's a thread that sort of fits with this review on the DEADPIT message board, and that would be defend your favorite bashed movie. I don't know if this would be my favorite bashed movie, but it's definitely one of the first ones I thought of. And believe it or not, it's The Rage, Carrie 2. I'll be the first to tell you that this was an unneeded sequel. It never needed to happen. It came out, what, 22, 23 years after the original Brian De Palma Carrie. It's not nowhere near as good as that movie, but I think what happened with this movie is very similar. And a lot of you people may think otherwise, but it's very similar to what happened with Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. And that is bad word of mouth initially, because I didn't see this for a couple of years until after I watched it on TV or something like that, because everyone I talked to pretty much ragged on it and said, this is an awful movie, this is not Carrie, this is, she's not even in the movie, there's no one named Carrie in the movie, it's about this other girl, this other teenage high school girl. And I know it flopped at the box office. It has plenty negative reviews online, but I really don't know why. I mean, the story itself begins with a flashback to what happened to this character as a young child. Her name's Rachel. Her mother, very similar to Carrie White's mother in the original film, was batshit crazy and schizophrenic. I don't know, she saw things, and they took her away to a mental home and put Rachel, of course, in foster care, which she's still in. You know, I think she's a senior, 17 years old in high school now. We fast forward, and her best friend commits suicide after a fling, you know, which happened to be her first time. You know, the guy popped a cherry, baby. Woo, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Just kidding. Not really. And, you know, it's all about this game that these football players are playing, you know, a point system on who they can lay. And if it's a virgin, they get more money or more points or whatever. So, a picture that Rachel develops soon after her best friend kills herself shows exactly who this is. And it becomes evidence for the police. And this gets all the football players riled up because they've got scouts coming. They're going to make it to the NFL, baby. And they don't want this bitch, Doc, whatever they call her, they think she's a lesbian, to ruin things. And as all this stuff is happening, driving Rachel more and more into this place, she realizes that, much like Carrie White, she has these psychokinesis, telekinesis, whatever it is, ability to make things happen, to move things, to slam doors, to bust glasses, to bust windows. And her guidance counselor, and this brings us to the only connection really to this movie and the original Carrie, is the sole survivor from the original Carrie, Sue Snell, who's a guidance counselor now. And she's like, I've seen this before, we need to act quickly before something bad happens. But of course something really, really bad happens towards the end when Rachel's love interest in the movie, you know, the only person she really confides in since her best friend died, she thinks, which of course doesn't happen, I think it's Jeremy London or Jason London, one of those motherfuckers, Jason London, I think they're twins or something. They show, you know, on a big screen at this party after a football game, you know, a sex tape between those two, and she thinks that he's in on it, and this just drives her over the edge. And very similar to the end of Carrie is what happens, you know. And that's when the movie really you know, it really goes up to that upper room, if you will. That's another reference, not even horror related, but yeah, I just think this movie had a really good setup, and it created a ton of evil and sadistic characters, and you really wanted to root for Rachel in this. And you know, anybody that's seen Carrie and watches this, you knew it was going to be more of the same thing. But I don't know, it's maybe where everyone was ragging on this movie, and in my opinion unjustly. I mean, it's, you know, I've seen a lot of bad movies. This is definitely not a bad movie, and a lot of you people out there, I think that maybe if you heard from someone back in the day and just skipped over this one and is like, Carrie 2, that's ridiculous. There's no one, you know, Sissy Spacek doesn't return or anything, so why is it called Carrie 2? And you know, the movie from what I understand, it wasn't originally Carrie 2 to begin with. I think it was something like The Curse, and it was also, someone was saying it was loosely based on a Stephen King short novel or novella or whatever called The Rage, which is something so sadistic, evidently, that they actually pulled it from shelves and it's never been printed since. I don't know, but I just really wanted to put this movie over. This is a movie that I defend, and everyone else, or not everyone else, but a fair amount of people kind of hate it. And I'm a big fan of Carrie too. That's one of my favorites. That's definitely one of my top 15, 20 horror movies of all time. And I would actually highly recommend you guys check this out. I think Big Lots had this at one time for $3. You know, as you saw earlier, some of the stuff that I got for $3. I've had this ever since I had a DVD player, pretty much. And it's a fun film to watch on Halloween too. It's just got a really cool, and since it was made in the end of the 1990s, it just has that, you know, if you were a high schooler then, it'll bring you back a little bit. So something else though I really wanted to mention is some great characters in this too. I think the lead, who hasn't been in much else, Emily Burgle, I think. I don't have to pronounce. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, you know, because I'm from Eastern Kentucky, motherfuckers. She does a really good job. I don't know what the hell she's doing now, but she did a great job in this movie. And all the football players did a really good job too. You got one of the son bitches from Home Improvement, and I think Dylan Bruno is the lead asshole in the movie that sort of everyone listens to him, you know. A whole lot of fun though. The Rage Carrie 2, another watch, enjoyable. It should be an enjoyable watch for you guys on Halloween. So we'll catch up with you again in a day or two, and see you guys. Peace out, brother.